There we go. Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review something I was going to do a couple of days back, and then I ended up getting tired, and I had it scheduled. I told Tanya about it, and I didn't see the whole thing because Tanya went live early Monday morning, like 5. She said 5 a.m., but 6 a.m. where I was at. I said, "Well, join Tanya." I was off and on Tanya's live stream, and we were really good friends. And I was telling her about this movie that I was watching. I saw everything until the last 20 minutes. She said, "Oh man, why didn't you tell me how it ended?" You know. Um, and the movie I'm talking about is it goes by 3 titles. I put 2 of the titles up there. Cheerleaders Wild Weekend, and it's also known as a great American bank robbery. And I guess there's another title less used called Bus 17 is Missing, right? And how I found out about this, it was weird because whenever I grew up watching Siskel and Ebert, right? I found out about their show, sneak previews. Oh God, what was it, like in 5th grade? I think in 1980 they had a. It was weird because I was in the. I love horror films, but I wasn't allowed to watch them and stuff, right? I remember there used to be all these. Whenever Halloween came out, the TV stage was flooded with commercials for movies like "Don't Answer the Phone," all the Friday the 13th movies, Halloween movies, and what have you. And they had a show. I'll never forget it. Very first show I saw. I remember I got home from school. I think it was like a Wednesday. It was early dismissal or something like that. It was like 2:30 in the afternoon. I was just flipping channels. Usually I go to PBS because everything else was like we just had antenna TV. We didn't have cable. Usually everything else was like soap operas. I'm not into soap operas. There was a time for like a month or two. I got hooked on a storyline on Guiding Light when I was like in 5th or 6th grade. I watched that, but that was it. No, I don't watch soap operas at all. And usually CBS would have like a comedy like All in the Family or One Day at a Time reruns of that like 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon. I'd watch that. Anyway, I would flip around to PBS. Sometimes PBS would have cool stuff on there. At 2:30, I'll never forget they had an episode of Sneak Previews there. And what's this? Yeah, it was the episode of infamous episode. I mean, they still people still talk about how Siskel and Ebert hate horror films and stuff. They like a few, but they generally hate horror films. There was something called "The Girl Is Always the Victim," and this was their take on slasher films. And they didn't even know what to call them at the time. They just called them thrillers. They said these thrillers. They said whenever Halloween came out, there's a big a big flow of people trying to catch you movies like The Boogeyman, New Year's Evil, um, Maniac and stuff because Halloween was such a phenomenal hit. I mean, the first slash film was it goes all the way back. Well, they had like a bunch of like the Italian giallo films and stuff that were like slash films, kind of. But whenever Halloween came out, it became such a massive hit. That's when you see a bunch of other filmmakers try to make all these horror films and stuff, including Friday the 13th. And what happened was they had like a big thing. The girl was always the victim, right? And then I remember they had "I Spit on Your Grave" on there. I remember seeing that. I rented it like years later. I remember watching it. I knew what happened leading up to how the girl was victimized, and then she got revenge on those guys. It's like I was like, they lied. She wasn't a victim. She got revenge on those guys. She got her payback. Anyways, there was episodes of the Dogs Week I missed. And I always thought that was fascinating because that's how I found out about like different horror films and stuff that were playing. I wanted to see. Oh, and also they mentioned my favorite movie, Doctor Butcher MD, right? But I call it Doctor Butcher without MD in it, then, so it's a little bit tough. They should call it Doctor Butcher MD. Um. Anyways, they had like a now if you go on YouTube and stuff, they have a big list of like all the dogs of the week they had on the show. I don't know. Now, whenever Jeffrey Lyons and Michael Medved took over Siskel and Ebert, I don't know if they kept up with the dogs of the week because they changed the whole. Whenever they left, they changed the whole format of the show. But he did. I remember they had with Jeffrey Lyons and Michael Medved, they had like they had The Power, which I thought was a good show, and also Scalps, the Federal Ray movie that said it made the dog loses Alpo because it's so gross. I've never seen that movie. I know Fred Old Ray was very happy that he mentioned his movie. Anyways, yeah, those are cool, buddy. Yeah, yeah, I like stuff like that. Well, they used to have. I remember the radio ads. I mean, I remember the radio ads for that movie, The Nest, that cockroach movie. Which I remember that too. You know, he drops this. I didn't even drop this. Hi, hello, hi, Tasty Peanut. How you doing? Hi, Duessolinvictus. Tasty Peanut's really cool. She's a devoted friend of mine. You know, so is Duessolinvictus. Um. Anyways, I mean, people say stuff about Siskel and Ebert, but that's how I learned. I learned a lot about movies from them. You know, and those are the guys. I mean, I watched some of the spin-off shows because they have a show, and then they have sneak previews. Sneak preview lasts a long time. But I missed a lot of the episodes though. After Siskel and Ebert left, and they started a show at the movies. I remember when they left that they had oh, what's this? They had Rex Reed and some other guy replacing them. I remember watching some of those. But you know more about Siskel and Ebert. And then they had was just Siskel and Ebert. They showed Siskel and Ebert, right? And that was the one owned by Buena Vista. That was the most long running show, at least 10 years. Well, over 10 years. I remember Gene Siskel passed away. Roger Ebert was still doing the show, and then he asked for like replacement guest host. And then Richard Roper ended up being like a replacement host for him. And then whenever they left the show, and they got replaced. So it's like, yeah. Oh, Night of the Living Dead. Oh, that's awesome. And they got replaced because they said they said that the renewal contract from Disney was an insult. You know, wasn't didn't pay enough, I guess. And they had people replaced for like a year or two, and then you know they weren't allowed to use a thumbs up, a thumbs down anymore, right? And then all of a sudden, I remember watching that show. My dad said, "Why do you watch these guys? They're not as good." And all of a sudden, he said, "Okay, it is a final episode, and we want to do a whole big thing of you know the life of them or whatever, you know." And then, like about a year and a half later, around 2010, things came full circle, and Roger Ebert went back to PBS. He said Roger Ebert at the movies. That's what it was called, or Roger Ebert and the movies, I think. And he was on. He was still. He was in bad shape though. He was in bad health, physical health. And basically, it was like two guys that Christy somebody, and some Russian guy, and they were reviewing movies on a balcony, like sneak previews. And then they had like segment where like Roger Ebert would type something up, and then they'd have someone famous like Werner Herzog or something like that read what he said in a review of that, right? And then he'd do like his review of movies. And like the one year he said, I had the worst year this year was easy though. It was Human Centipede 2, you know. And then there was I know I missed one episode of that show. Something happened. I don't know what happened. Um, but I always watch that show. Always try to. And then like at the very end, they said like they said this final episode. Then they showed Roger Ebert and his wife. Said, "Well, I hope you like. I'm glad you like the show." And that was the last of seeing Roger Ebert stuff. And I remember seeing that Roger Ebert documentary too. Well, anyways, they used to have the Dogs of the Week, like I said. And then when I went to Cincinnati at the movie, they have the Stinkers of the Week. And that's back when they had a lot of drive-in fair and stuff. They don't do stuff like that anymore. Not as much fun. But they had a line of dogs a week on YouTube. You can watch big clips of a couple, like 3 or 4 videos. And one of them was one called Cheerleaders Wild Weekend, right? And they mentioned the whole thing about cruelty, the cruelty towards women and stuff. They said that a while back we did a thing called "The Girl Is Always the Victim," and they said this is no a better example of the exploitation film. And I always wanted to see it. I had a hell of a time finding it, and then like out or like they have this one guy had a channel where he had a slime ball sorority babes in a slime ball bolorama, and then this movie, Cheerleaders Wild Weekend, and there'll be like these 15-minute clips. So when I first started YouTube, I couldn't do videos more than 15 minutes, so I had to split them up. I can't remember. It took time before I was able to do the full length ones. And then it happened a second time where I was able to do videos over 15 minutes. Um, anyways, what was he going to say? Anyways, the one where he put like the 15-minute clips, there was like part 1, part 3, no, part 1, part 2, part 6. And a lot of the movies were missing, so I was like, heck with that. I finally saw it on Plex. And this is what Cheerleaders Wild Weekend is. It's also known as the Great American Girl Robbery. That's why you see it on IMDb as that movie. And then it's also known as, very lesser known as Bus 17 is Missing. So it starts out with this guy, like this high school announcer. Um, and there's like, it's like a big montage, like an opening credit montage showing like photos of the girls. It's done in a way like, it's not super lighthearted, but something bad might happen, you know. They show like photos of the girls and stuff, and they talk about what happened is there's going to be like a big cheerleading competition happening in Sacramento, California. And the guy doing the announcing, it's like he's, during the opening credits saying like, okay, we got 3 schools, 3 schools in competition with each other. They're all going to go in this one school bus and go to Sacramento, California. And there was like Polk High, and 2 other ones, and there was probably like 5 girls for each one. And they said there's this one chaperone, and we're going to take them down to Sacramento. It might be an overnight journey, but they'll be there. Anyways, it starts off kind of like a lighthearted comedy. Well, kind of like the girls were fighting, and then there's this one. You see the girls going and you see these guys driving by, and the girls are flirting with them and stuff. And there's this guy, this redneck guy in this pickup truck. And the girl said, watch, we got to flirt with this guy. And they start flirting with the guy. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. And, they said they had to see which one was that would get them to run off the road, which is actually pretty messed up. And then they were flashing them kind of, and like flirting and stuff like that. And then the one girl said, heck with it, you guys are amateurs. Then she took off like her shirt, she pressed her breast against the glass stuff. I was, they got, and they turned around. This guy had this stand of oranges, right? And you see a guy whir off the road and run into that stand of oranges. And they said on IMDb that was done without permits. They have no permits to do anything like that. Anyway, they stayed like a lighthearted comment, and you saw like they had like this female shoppers, hey girls, behave yourselves, behave yourself. Then you see the one bus driver like all lusting over these girls, right? Well, anything, things were going okay the first 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden, like, it gets nighttime, the girls are sleeping or trying to sleep, and they go right to there's this big detour sign with like this cop and someone else dressed in a brown uniform, like a bus driver uniform, and 2 other guys with guns and stuff. And they stop and say, and the guy said, the guy dressed as a cop said, hey, could you please come out? We need to talk to you. So, okay. and came out and said, "Hello, sir. A bunch of stuff happened, and we're going to have to replace, you know." And he said he knocked the guy out. And then the other guy, the big black guy who dressed up there, and a cop came and said, "Okay, no reason to be alarmed. We had to replace drivers and stuff, just protocol and all that stuff. It'll be okay. We'll be in Sacramento in the morning before you know it." And the guy who played him, the guy who played that cop was Jason Williams. That was the guy who started Flesh Gordon. That's Flesh Gordon right there. Who went on to do a couple of bigger movies, like he was in what movie was he in? Um, yes, well, he was in the movie. He had a small part down out in Beverly Hills, and then he was in the movie Society too. So he had a couple bigger roles. So I guess he was in the Danger Zone movies, whatever those are. And he did movies up until '95, I guess. Wild Malibu Weekend was the last one, but I mean, he wasn't in like big movies except for down out in Beverly Hills, and but he started like I said, Flash Gordon, and then the Alice in Wonderland X-rated movie. And this was produced by directed by Bill Ordlow, or it's produced by it. And he did a lot of sleazy movies after that, including like The Being. Well, he did a lot of porno stuff, you know. And then he did movies like The Being, which I saw that had Bruce Buzzy in it, and he did Night Patrol, which is an awesome movie that played in the theaters, right? He did the Underachievers, Unknown Comedy Show. He did Gross Out. And then he did a movie that caused some controversy. It was on Jenny Jones. He did The Secret Life of Jeffrey Dahmer, which was like the first Jeffrey Dahmer movie to come out after all the court stuff. Hi, buddy.
Hey, how goes it?
Hi, buddy. You haven't been up in a while. I missed you.
It's been a bit, yeah. Just haven't had time. I've just been too busy, and I've been having to keep regular hours and stay gone a lot. So I haven't had time to get on the late nights.
I appreciate that. I've been live streaming. I live stream like just movie reviews and stuff now. You know, that's so cool. I don't know. I didn't hear you.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
I watched one you did for Jaws, and you know, I really thought about it. I don't believe I've seen Jaws since I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I never watched any of the sequels because I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I just didn't see the point to a sequel to Jaws. There was no need for a sequel. It was just a once and done.
Oh, I know.
You know, I'm sure they were, they were just going to milk it for all it was worth. But yeah, I may have to check out this Cheerleader movie. It sounds like it might be a hoot to watch. Is it on YouTube or Tubi or something?
It's on Plex. Well, what happens is in the movie, like, what changes gears, right? The first 10 minutes like a goofy comedy, and then they invade the bus. They kidnap these girls, right?
Right.
And they turn out these were like football players that have been fired and stuff, are all frustrated, and they ask for $2 million, and they keep these girls, and they make them do like strip teases and stuff, and it really is a sleazy exploitation movie, but it's really good.
So essentially, it's kind of like it's kind of like almost like a violent Cinemax softcore movie. Then,
yeah, kind of.
Is what it amounts to. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it with that '70s vibe to it, like like American International, New Line Cinema, or like
AIP and all them. Yeah,
like summer school teachers, stuff like that. Yeah, like that. And they had two of the dumbest cops in there, and there was a scene like I think there was a scene with the two cops. The one guy was had a binocular, said, "Boy, it looks like it's trying to find these guys is like find a needle in a haystack." And the guy said, "Yeah, I never understood that thing. A search for a needle in a haystack. Why don't you just buy another needle? It couldn't be that expensive." And then the guy said, "No, it might be not to talk to you ever again." The two cops are really dumb. It's really low budget. It's on Plex.
Well, back then, before the whole theater system kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
It used to be that individual theaters from different districts, and now it's kind of a fixed channel to where the studios more or less have them by the throat, and they have to take these, they have to take certain movies and pay up front for them. But from what I understand, and this has been a few years ago, it takes the average theater chain, it takes 90 days of showings for a movie for them to turn a profit on it.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and now you have a movie released to the theaters, and it may be out on streaming or DVD within 2 months of being released.
Yeah.
Because that channel is so much quicker now. Back in the day, like when we were teenagers, a movie would come out in the theater, and it might take it 6 months to a year to show up on home video.
Yeah, I remember. There was one exception. There was one exception to that. I'll never forget the movie. You remember Ghoulies? I don't know if you remember Ghoulies from a long time ago.
No, I remember that. I don't think I ever saw it, but I remember it. Yeah, it was kind of like a takeoff on Gremlins or something.
Yeah,
or maybe.
they showed the one monster coming out of the toilet.
Yeah,
and they got a bunch of hate mail from parents from saying like, I'm trying to teach my kid how to be potty trained, and then you show these commercials with monsters coming out of the toilet, and the kids are afraid to go on there now. But that came out. I remember playing the theater. That came out like a month later on VHS. That was unheard of for Vestar. Man, they're trying to turn.
Well, that meant they already had the tapes replicated.
Yeah.
Before it even went to the theater, because you think about how long it took for like. I'll give you an example. When I started, I worked in a video store when I was like from the time like 19, 20 years old. It was like my third job at the time. I was going to school, and I remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 6 months or so after it was in the theaters. And we had a guy come in and actually pay $90 for a copy of Bill and Ted because he liked the movie that much. This 16, 17-year-old kid, he worked his butt off. And you think about $90 in 1989, how much money that was.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, $90 was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, it was.
Because I remember I could take my girlfriend then to like Applebee's or something like that for less than $15, tip included back then. But home video used to be really cost prohibitive because they didn't make them for popular distribution. They made them go directly into the video stores.
I know.
And I can remember doing invoices when we were doing invoices from our video distributor. I can't remember if we were buying. Oh shoot! Okay. There was a situation where The Abyss came out, and there was a copycat movie of The Abyss that came out right after it, and it was pretty good too. I don't remember the name of it.
Was it Leviathan? Was it Leviathan?
May have been Leviathan.
Okay.
But anyway, I remember it because I was doing invoices because we were ordering copies of it, and I think at the time, if we ordered 5 copies from our distributor of any given movie, they'd knock off 20%.
Yeah.
And I remember us buying VCRs. This was now my other job. I worked at a rent-to-own store, and I remember us going through and looking for the best prices on VCRs. And my boss used to be a sales rep for the local electronics dealer, which at the time, do you remember Quasar?
Yes.
Quasar televisions and it was Matsushita Electric, which they owned Quasar, and I'm not sure who they own now. They're still around, but they've changed names.
Yeah.
But if we went to Matsushita Electric in town and we bought 5 VCRs, our price would drop from $250 to $180.
Wow.
And that was back when VCRs were $350 for a basic one in the retail stores.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was just a different era. And like you talk about the movies and everything,
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like maybe now with digital recording being so cheap that you see like about anybody can make a movie and get it put on Tubi.
Yeah.
Because Tubi seems like they're always looking for content. So you see some of the lowest budget movies.
Oh yeah.
Pop up on Tubi, but at the same time, like you were talking about, they had no permits and no budget. That used to be the norm, where you would kind of get your cameras and you would do like Ed Wood. You'd go scavenge your props and scavenge your location and go out and throw together a film and sling it against the wall and see if it stuck.
Exactly.
And that was just kind of the production model back then.
There was one movie, along with I can't remember. There was some movie that can't remember the name of it. Though I mean, because whenever the Abyss came out, there were 3 movies that ripped it off: Leviathan, and then one movie.
Well, Leviathan was.
Yeah.
And the movie was distributed by like Blue Moon or one of those old video distributors back in the day.
Yeah.
Because I remember we had Leviathan, the Abyss, and there was one more, and I remember distinctly because it had a bright blue cover, and it had like a guy. It had like a guy in a deep water pressure suit, and he was out on the cover, and he was like pulled in half.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of the name of that. I'm trying to think of the name.
I can't remember the name of that one to save my life.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm trying to find the name of it. I mean, I'll definitely tell you the name when I find it. I can't. Damn, I can't remember the name of that. I mean, it was.
I want to say it was like something 9, I think.
Deep Water 9 or something like that. Deep something.
Something like that. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. Deep Water. Deep Water. Something. Damn it! I can't remember. I mean, I know the movie you're talking about, and then there was one called Endless Descent, which was an Italian movie that came out a few years later. That was kind of like the same thing.
I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, I saw that.
That one at all.
Yeah, I rented that.
Did you
in Dietrich?
Did you ever see the ABC movie of the week that was like that from like the 70s? Do you remember it? There was an ABC movie of the week, and it was about these geologists and oceanographers. They were on an oil platform, and they dig with the bit, and it pulls up some kind of egg, and it's like alien. It gets loose on the oil platform and kills everybody. And this was the movie of the week.
Huh.
I remember seeing it a long time ago on YouTube, but it was pretty darn good for a 1979, 1980 movie of the week. Yeah. But I can't remember the name of it. Oh, I do. It's called Enemy Within. The Enemy Within.
Okay, I never saw that one.
Oh, it's good. It's pretty good. It's worth a watch. But I think it's on YouTube. But it's set on.
I don't think. Trying to think. It was 19. I was. Damn, I can't remember the name of that movie. Yeah, well, let me see if I'm looking up Leviathan right now. See if there's anything similar to it. And might have at the bottom of IMDb. Okay, I got it. You know what it's called?
What?
I Deep Star 6.
Deep Star 6, that was it. Yeah.
That was it. Yep, I had directed by the guy who did Friday the 13th. And it had Greg Evigan from BJ and the Baronet. And I remember that movie. That's a good movie.
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. I actually like that better than Leviathan.
I don't remember Leviathan enough to even have an opinion of it at this point. Because I know my boss at the time, at the video store. We would sometimes go and watch movies at her place after we got off work. That was back when I was 19, 20 years old, and I could party all night and get up and still get to my 8 o'clock class. But I remember we would watch The Abyss in the store sometimes. We'd have it playing on the store TV, or my buddy and I that I worked with, we would have Dune playing on there all the time. I mean, we must have watched Dune 100 times when I worked at the video store.
Oh, really?
Because honestly, it was funny because I worked at I was in the Army. I worked for a rent-owned store doing deliveries, pickups, and repossessions, and doing some bookkeeping. And I worked at the video store, and I also repoed cars under the table time to time too. So I was, while going to community college, so I was pretty busy at the time. But it was funny how I still found time to watch a movie or two every once in a while as well.
Yeah. Oh,
but yeah, Deep Star 6.
Yeah, that's the movie. I couldn't remember the name of it. Oh, I found out they changed the title of that movie. That movie, Endless Descent, they changed the name of it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. It was Endless Descent at the time. They changed it to The Rift. Oh, you got a phone call?
Hey, let me run. I got a phone call. I'll check back in a minute, man.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
All right,
bye. Yeah, I gotta check it with them. That movie, they changed the name of it. It's called The Rift. I had no idea that had Arlie Ermy in it. You know, Jack Scully, Arlie Ermy, Ray Wise. It was called Endless Descent. I remember. Okay, cool. Why well, change the name? Rewise the Descent. When did they change the name of it to The Rift? That's actually a pretty good movie too. I think it's an Italian production, if I'm not mistaken. Let me get back to the movie before if he comes back. Yeah. The afterbirth of 1989's underwater explosion of the Abyss, Leviathan, Deep Star 6. Yep, exactly. I'm glad I saw Deep Star 6, man. I couldn't remember the name of that damn thing. We love our horror films. Anyways, to get back to the movie. I mean, it's like, you never know what to expect. I mean, it's all about movies. I mean, it's a review of a movie, but it can encompass many movies. I know Miller said I get off topic. I talk about a million movies, but I'm a movie guy, so I usually do. Like I said, basically this is like it's a whole mixture of different tones, but it's definitely an exploitation film. And they used to have stuff like Night Nurses, and these aren't porno movies either. They had like New World Cinema released like summer school teachers, student teachers, night nurses. Just like R-rated exploitation stuff. With hopefully nudity in it. And they did a whole bunch of exploitation films, whether it be action films like The Big Bird Cage or what have you. And this wasn't from New World Cinema. This is from Bill Oslo, who helped release stuff like Flesh Gordon. The guy who started to play the cop was the guy who played Flesh Gordon. They had one girl, my dad can't saw her name. Now, Bill Oslo did stuff like Gross Out and stuff too. Yeah, Gross Out's pretty gross. But it's funny though. I don't know how they got released though. It's really gross. That'd be good. Yeah, it's a gross movie. The Bee is let's see, where are we at? Let's go find Cheerleaders Wild Weekend again. I gotta find out what that one girl was in there. But anyways, like it's like a whole big thing. These three girls, three high schools have like 4 or 5 or 6 girls that they select for the cheerleading competition in Sacramento, California, and they were all going in this one school bus, and they're going to for this competition, and they had a chaperone and a bus driver there, and it'd be like overnight trip, you know. It says, oh, for the Bee, it says, has red carpet premiere at the Elcon Mall Theater in Tucson, Arizona on May 8th, 1981, on the title Beauty and the Beast. Most stars, including Ruth Buzzy, Marlena Morian, Gordon, were in attendance. But if this thing is actually killing people there, then why is the major trying to keep it quiet? Potato. Right here, that means big bunny. Huh. Yeah, right before the end credits begin, the fate of the main character is read on screen. But I like the Bee, though. I remember seeing that a long time ago. I watched it again. Oh, here we go. Hi, buddy. Now I heard you pop on this time.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that. The girlfriend called, had to take it.
Oh, it's okay. That movie got retitled. That movie I was talking, Endless Descent.
Yeah, the Italian side.
Yeah, it was like an Italian American co-production, I think. It was called The Rift, right?
Yeah.
And it has it's about like Siren 2, submarine under the command of Captain Phillips ventures in deep on a mission to recover the missing submarine. Their quest is hindered when the submarine becomes entangled in a patch of toxic seaweed that creates all these monsters and stuff. And it has Jack Scalia and R. Lee Ermey in it too.
Oh wow, R. Lee Ermey, yeah.
Yeah, he did it. And then it says like, okay, the tagline. There's a little bit of a review. It says the tagline was, "You can't hold your breath and scream at the same time." And it said, "Endless Descent." Yeah, Endless Descent, aka The Rift, is the afterbirth of 1980s underwater explosion of the Abyss, Leviathan, and Deep Star 6. I mean, I saw it. Yeah.
You really have to think about it in the big picture.
Yeah.
We've only really mapped about 10% of the ocean.
Yeah.
Under the undersea. And when you get right down to it, brass tacks, we kind of know more about space than we do about our own ocean. Because there's so much effort going. Well, okay, look at those. Remember about a year or so ago, those idiots tried to go down and see the Titanic?
Yeah.
And the little submersible crumpled up on them, and they were using a Microsoft game controller as a controller for the vehicle itself.
Yeah.
That's what you run into. It's probably the dangers undersea are probably more unpredictable than even the dangers in space, because space is kind of a known quantity. Once you get us outside of our atmosphere, well, yeah, we have a lot of debris up there. God knows how much debris we have of all the thousands of satellites we've sent out over the years that have gone dead up there. But otherwise, we understand how it works. But deep space. I mean, deep ocean. My God, you think about the Marianas Trench. That's like 26,000 feet deep.
Yeah.
It's as far down as the Himalayas are high. And we have no idea what the heck is down there. We really don't. We can guess, but we really don't know. I guess going to it, that was kind of the appeal of those movies to me when I was, in my late teens, because I watched all three of them, and The Abyss was interesting in a science fiction kind of way.
Yeah.
Deep Star 6, I do not remember much about it, and I don't remember much about Leviathan either.
Yeah. Well, Leviathan had a couple those weird, mixed up looking creatures, kind of like from The Thing, But I remember the one part from, yeah.
You're right. It did.
Yeah. Well, I remember that. I remember I don't remember these movies that much. I remember the part for Deep Star 6 I remember was that guy got bitten in half by a monster. That one monster was
Yeah,
on.
that's right. That's right.
That's why I remember that. And it had Greg Evigan in it, for BG and the Bear, which is cool. But I mean, that was directed by Sean S. Cunningham, and then I can't. I mean, Endless Descent just came about. I just found it by accident.
Yeah.
Ended up being
Well,
a good show. Well, the hell, I
well,
don't know. What's that?
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The only thing I remember about that was Arlie Erby, and then there's a scene where there's all these caverns, and you see these monsters pop out, and these guys are blowing them away and stuff. The undersea monsters. You might like it. I mean, Arlie Erby's in it, so
I may check. I may check it out. I'm actually going to look for that Enemy Within and see if it's on. I may watch it tonight when I get home.
let me look that up.
Still,
Yeah.
what's that?
Let me look that up too. Well, you know that guy,
Yeah.
one of that Cheerleaders Wild Weekend I was telling you about.
Yeah.
That one guy started. Guess what? Guess what he starred in?
What's that?
He was in Flesh Gordon. Remember the original Flesh Gordon?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the guy. Jason Williams, I guess, was started that.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, it was directed by the same people that did those movies, And then they went on to do movies like The Being and Night Patrol. Remember Night Patrol in the 80s?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was like a super dirty police academy movie type movie by me with I mean by really like a sleazy low budget police academy, and Dice was in it. You said The Enemy Within TV movie. Okay, let's see.
I think it was. I think that's the name of it.
Okay. Well, 1977. 19. That's it. I don't know if this might be it.
I want to say it was like 79 or 80 because it's right around the same time as the original Alien was popular.
Okay. I don't have a lot of information, but okay, yeah, it must be that. It says an hour. Oh no, huh? I don't know. I'll look for it.
Really, what I did was I went on Google and I searched ABC movie of the week, like Alien, Alien ripoff, and it brought it up.
Okay.
And I think it was called The Enemy Within. I might be wrong.
Let me see. I remember they had some good ones. I remember Don't Be Afraid of the Dark was really good. And so was Trilogy of Terror. That became a hit on its own,
Oh, man. Trilogy of the Terror. Oh, God. I had the biggest crush on Karen Black when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
God, she's so beautiful.
Well, I mean, she was on that show ER. I mean, there was 2 ERs, right? Everyone thinks of the George Clooney drama one, but there was one that was like a year or 2 before with it was a comedy with what's that one guy that started Capricorn 1? Elliot Gould. Okay. He had a comedy, yeah.
I always liked Elliot Gould too.
Yeah. And the Love War? No, it can't be that. Let's see. When I got that one came up, I'm trying to think. Well, I said the Love War, but that's 1970s. That's not it.
No.
Let's see, 1978. Okay, let's see. Trying to find it.
It would have had been 79 or 80 because it was subsequent to the original Alien movie, which came out in 79.
I thought one I really liked was my one friend was doing like a live stream about Canon films, right? I wish you would
Yeah.
have told me, so I'm like an expert in canon movies. And he had like 6 people up, and then one guy dropped off. They asked if I could come up. He said, "Well, let's see if that guy comes back up." He never did. But I mean, I was talking about a lot of movies they never heard of, like a lot of horror films they did back in the '70s. And one of the ones they distributed was Alien Contamination. You ever see that one? That was on Elvira.
I don't remember that one. We
Oh,
watched one. My girlfriend and I watched one on YouTube. It's been a while back.
yeah.
It had Martin Landau and Ruth Buzzy
Oh, The
and a bunch of
Being.
other people.
The
Yeah,
Being.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
directed by the same guy. That was directed by the same guy who did Cheerleaders Wild Weekend.
Okay, that was it. We watched. It was the most bizarre movie. It was about these contaminate. It was about this environmental contamination creating this monster. But
Yeah.
it was just so wild to see Martin Landau on it. But that was the same time he was still doing. I guess he was still doing Space 1999 then.
Yeah. Well, he did a great movie called Alone in the Dark with Jack Palance and him. That's a damn good movie. And then he had a comeback for a while. Remember, he was in that Woody Allen movie, Crimes and Misdemeanors, and then he was in that.
Well, yeah, he did that, and he did Ed Wood. That was where he won the Oscar.
Bela Lugosi. He won an Oscar for that, which is pretty cool. I don't know what happened to him after that, but he did have a resurgence for a while.
I think he died about 5 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit, about 5-6 years ago. It's been a little bit.
Let's look at Martin Landau.
And his daughter, Juliet, she was the one who played on that Buffy TV show.
Oh, cool.
I always thought she was gorgeous. But what I understand, she was estranged from both Martin Landau and Barbara Bain. She's estranged from both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
That's what I read about it. I read about it about the time Martin Landau died.
Oh, yeah, he passed away in 2017.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it'd been a few years ago.
Yeah, I guess a couple movies he came. Trying to think some other ones, but he was still doing movies up till then. He's still doing movies, TV shows. You know.
Well, if you watch any old TV shows, he pops up a lot. He pops up in a little bit of everything. Of course, Mission Impossible, he was in as a regular, but he was in Twilight Zone. He was in a lot of westerns.
Oh yeah.
He popped up as kind of a character actor. But I remember most from Space 1999 because I used to watch it when I was a kid. Except Space 1999 was syndicated by the same company that syndicated the Muppet Show.
Oh, okay.
And in my market, it would piss me off because the logo would come up and I would expect to see Space 1999 and it would be the Muppet Show.
Oh, I got
and that made me so bad. That made me so bad. Yeah. I just cut the TV off and go outside and go play or something.
Yeah. I think he played. Yeah, he was on the New Adventures of Pinocchio. Let's see. He's done a bunch of stuff. I mean, City Hall. I forgot about that. Some of the stuff he's done. But he made a big comeback with that Crimes and Misdemeanors. You know.
Well, it was a good movie. It was a good film. But I mean, Woody Allen is a creep, but he's a damn good filmmaker too.
Oh yeah. Well, I saw that. The weird thing is, I saw that movie on the airplane ride back from Germany, right? I saw Joe vs. Volcano. I saw that, and like about a month or so before I had to go back to home, I was in Germany, watched Saturday Night Live, and they had like, remember when they had Dana Carvey played Johnny Carson, and then Phil Hartman doing Epic Band? Like, yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
Sir. He was talking about on the airplane flying home from someplace, and they had to watch that movie, Joe vs. Volcano, how bad it was. And when I went on a plane, the first movie played was Joe vs. Volcano. It's kind of ironic, you know?
I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was absurd funny. It was, my girlfriend loved it. She loves that movie. We watched it together about 9 months ago, back when we had time to actually slow down and watch a movie once in a while.
Yeah. Well, I guess he never really acted. Yeah. I guess he never
What's
quit
that?
acting. He was acting the whole time, you know.
No, he seemed he just seemed like the type that wasn't going to quit.
Yeah.
You know, he I don't know if Barbara Bain has done anything in ages. I mean, I don't know. She was. It seemed like they were kind of joined at the hip in their career for a while, and then they got. I don't know what. And then they got divorced. But
Yeah, he was in a ton of movies. The very first one was the 1953 show called The Goldbergs. You know, I know he's been working consistently till like 2017. And then there was some movie came out in 2022 when he after he passed away. You know, sometimes that happens.
well, he was what? Probably, I guess, close to 90 when he died, wasn't he? If I had to
Yeah,
guess.
he's like born 1928, passed away in 2017. So he's
Yeah, so he's
almost
89.
yeah.
Yeah, 88, 89. Yeah.
He's always a cool actor. Well, I loved Space 1999. I guess there was only 48 episodes of that show.
2 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that show. I was a
Yeah.
big fan of it. I used to watch that.
I never got to watch it consistently. I know a friend of mine from elementary and middle school. He was a huge fan. He actually had the Mattel Space 1999, the Eagle with the little 4-inch action figures, which I thought was cool. And
That's awesome.
What's that?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw somebody. I'm on a toy collecting Facebook groups, and a guy found a Space 1999 Eagle toy with it wasn't the big one with the 4-inch figures. It had like 1-inch or 2-inch molded figures. He found it at an estate sale with the box and paid $10 for it.
Oh wow!
I thought, God, you stole that, man. You really did. You got a steal on that one. That is a steal because.
Oh yeah, they did. That's a great
Star Wars, the Star Wars toys from that era. They're expensive if they're in the package. They're super expensive. You have one still in the package, but otherwise they're kind of common as crabgrass because Hasbro, because Kenner made a gazillion of them. But like Space 1999 and Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, those are kind of hard to come by.
I love that. I love watching that Buck Rogers movie in the theater. You know, I mean on TV.
I never saw it. They did a theatrical release of it like they did Battlestar Galactica. They did the same thing with Buck Rogers. They did Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't ever remember seeing it marketed in my area, but I always watched them. I would always watch Buck Rogers and Battlestar Galactica when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, it was messed up though because my friend Ray was saying like he loved that show Battlestar Galactica as a kid, and then when he saw the movie play at the theater, he wanted to see it. It was just a television pilot. They did the same thing with Buck Rogers. He showed the television pilot though. That's kind of a cheat, isn't it? Yeah.
It's kind of a chip.
Yeah, I wonder if people asked for the monies back though, because I always saw it. I know my nephew wanted to see. Well, they showed that movie, The Clone Wars, on the Cartoon Network, and it was the same movie that on the Cartoon Network that was in the theaters, right? My nephew wanted to see it. I said, that's the same movie on Cartoon Network. Just watch on Cartoon Network. You save yourself $10 or whatever it was. You know. I never watched.
I only watched. The only one I watched at the theater was my ex and my kid and I. We took our kid to go see the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And we watched it, and my ex and I my kid, of course, went crazy over it. And my ex and I stood up and looked at each other like, "What the hell did we just watch?"
Yeah.
And now you've got the horrible J.J. Abrams movies. I mean, J.J. Abrams, let's just be honest, he killed 2 franchises. He killed Star Trek and he killed Star Wars.
Yeah.
And, these garbage, Now, in all fairness, Rogue One was pretty good. I watched Rogue One. It was not bad. It was not bad at all. But I started watching Force Awakens on streaming, and I just said, nope, I can't even follow this thing. I don't care. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I watched it at my sister's place, right? And I wasn't interested at all. And it's also tough because everyone's talking and stuff like that in the background. You know, I watched it,
Yeah.
like it was okay, but people raving about it. You know, that's what I mean. It was all right. I mean, I saw the Star Wars movie. I saw at the theater. I saw Return of the Jedi twice because second time there was R-rated movies playing. Dad just said, "Well, Dad just paid for us to see Return of the Jedi again." Right? I saw it twice in the theater. I saw Rogue One. I saw The Last Jedi. I like The Last Jedi. Some people didn't. I saw the Rise of. I saw the Han Solo movie. I saw that the Rise of Skywalker. I didn't care for that at all. That last one that played in theaters.
Well, my understanding about the Rise of Skywalker is all they did was they pulled Palpatine out of the woodwork and had him as the villain because everybody was so pissed off about the first two.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know. It just is, and the thing is, all the producers said, well, people are critical of it because the lead character is a female. No, nobody cares the lead character is a girl. My God, Ripley in Alien's a woman. Ripley and Sarah Connor in The Terminator is a woman. But you take this girl who lives in a backwater, and all of a sudden you make her a badass with the Force, where she can go kick this Sith apprentice's butt. When Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi, he got his hand cut off.
Yeah, I know.
Because he went to go fight Vader and he wasn't ready.
Yep.
Yoda told him he wasn't ready. Yoda said, you better watch it, buddy. He's gonna eat your lunch.
Exactly.
But it's just this whole Mary Sue thing with Rey, and you have her just hyper competent at everything out of the box. When let's just think about the first Star Wars movie. What happens? What happens when he's out there? He goes out there in the desert. He goes looking for the droids, and he gets ambushed by sand people. And the only thing that saves him is the fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi happened to find him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Tusken Raiders would have killed him.
Yep.
And this is Darth Vader's kid, and Darth Vader's kid still is not even able to, attenuate the fact that a Tusken Raider is sneaking up on him, and that's because the Tusken Raiders are masters of desert guerrilla warfare. That's the whole point of their existence. They're the masters of that type of warfare and that type of hit and run because they know that that's their planet. Tatooine is their planet.
Yep.
But it's just, I don't know. It seems to me like Disney's just squeezing the hell out of Star Wars and Marvel, and I just don't even care.
I mean, I stopped watching. I watched the first two Mandalorian seasons. I didn't bother to watch the third one. I haven't bothered to watch. I started watching Andor, and then John would say how good it was, and then I didn't even bother to return to watch it. I might, but I don't know. I lost interest in some of that stuff because they're just watering it down way too much. That's the way I look at it.
Well, with Marvel, okay, when you do a whole show, based on Madam Web, and you don't even get the character right, so that the people who actually read the comics know who she is. You've really gone off of the weeds and gone off the rails.
Yep, exactly.
Because the whole point of Madam Web was this older lady who was a clairvoyant, who was tied to Spider-Man. I don't remember how. And then they take her and go off on this tangent with her. And I think really, when it comes right down to brass tacks, my favorite Marvel movies are Guardians of the Galaxy. I love them.
Yeah.
I love those movies.
I tell you what, Yeah. Oh, I love those ones too. I can't watch the third one again because it's too tough. With the thing with Rocket Raccoon with the animals and stuff, that was really tough to watch. I felt bad.
I
You know
haven't
what I
seen the
mean?
third one yet. No,
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna get all three of them on DVD and
Yeah.
watch them in a row.
Oh.
And now see, I saw the first half of Avengers Endgame. I didn't see
Yeah.
the second half, and I don't really care to. When I was a kid, I never did buy the Infinity Gauntlet because I wasn't into superhero comics when it came out when I was like 20 or 21. And at that
Yeah.
time, I was into Sandman and Hellblazer and the Vertigo stuff from DC. But when I was a kid in the 70s, I had every appearance of Thanos, every one of them,
Oh, cool.
um, and Captain Marvel and Warlock and all that. I was into all that. And
Yeah.
Marvel Studios really dropped the ball with Captain Marvel and Warlock. They could have really taken that story and done something with it. But instead they went with the girl power Captain Marvel instead of the Captain Marvel who was the Kree, from the Krees and the Skrulls,
Yeah.
and Captain Marvel who was the Kree. And I haven't even seen the Captain Marvel movies with Brie Larson because I just don't care to.
Yeah.
She
She's
seems like
cute though. She's
she's
awfully cute. She's cute
yeah,
though.
but she seems an awful human being. She really seems like
Yeah,
she's an
I know.
awful and
I know.
entitled human being.
Oh yeah, in real life, yeah, I know. The one
But
thing, if you have that Disney Plus, they have a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. You might want to watch. It's kind of funny. They kidnap Kevin
okay,
Bacon. They kidnap Kevin
oh
Bacon.
God, that
Yeah,
sounds good already.
yeah. I mean, it's like like an hour. You might like that. It's funny. If you have Disney Plus, that's worth watching.
I haven't had the only streaming we have is we've got Amazon. That's just because my girlfriend has a Prime membership. I don't.
What's it?
I quit paying for cable and I quit paying for all the streaming crap because honestly, with
Yeah,
as much as I work, as long as I'm
yeah.
gone, I just don't have
You don't
time.
have time to watch it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, I did. I had AT&T Uverse. I
Yeah,
had pay television with them back 10 years ago, and at the time I was going to school. I went back to school full time. I was working out. I was dating and all this other stuff going on. And one day I sat there and I got the bill and I looked at it and I said, okay, how much time do I really spend watching television? Is it really worth me paying all this money for all this streaming stuff?
yeah, I agree.
Am I really watching it to be? Is it of any value to me? And
Yeah,
I looked it up and I did the timing. And don't get me wrong, there were some shows that I had on in the background when I would do homework. I would
yeah,
have The Office on, or I'd have the Cleveland Show on, one of the two all the time, because I had it on when I was doing homework. But like, if you have traditional cable television service,
yeah,
the biggest cost driver for cable TV is ESPN. ESPN makes cable TV super expensive because they have to pay for all the royalties and rights to all those teams. The NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, all that.
yeah.
And the only time I ever had ESPN on is when I watched a Formula One. I watched a couple of Formula One races, and that was it.
I
So I
stack
went
King
ahead and just
Cole.
I just went and
Sorry,
disconnected all that crap. No, it's okay.
I just want to say hi to Stack. He's a fellow food reviewer and a cool guy. Hey, Stack.
Okay, so you have to pick one: the original Halloween or the original Friday the 13th. Which is your favorite?
Original Halloween.
Okay.
I watched. I went ahead and watched Friday 13th again. I don't know. It was just a little bit boring though. I mean, it didn't have. I mean, the sequels were better. I mean, it was like kind of slow going at the time. You know what I mean?
You see, I like the original Friday. I like the Friday the 13th better because it's a slow burn,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh, that's
because
good too.
and because you never really know the story. You never really know what
Yeah.
happens until the end, without
Well,
giving you spoilers to anybody.
yeah.
Yeah, because you don't really know what happens till the end. Also, I like the camera work is choppier and grittier in Friday the 13th than it is in Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween is just this suburban. It's a story of the suburbs that essentially goes to hell.
Yeah.
It's a suburban story. Oh, we've got the grass, the picket fences, yada yada yada, and we have this murderer come back out of the asylum, and he's going to come kill everybody. Well, okay. Friday the 13th, it starts off with isolation. You're at Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
You're there at the lake. You're there in the woods. You're there at all these cabins. The place hasn't been used in a long time. You're getting it ready for the summer. You have that sense of isolation where you're in this bubble and you don't know what's going to happen. And if anything does happen, there's no one there to help you. And I also like the grittier camera work on it. That's something that appeals to me in old 70s movies. Did you ever watch? I'm sure you've probably seen it. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things.
Yeah, well, I was just talking about it. Yeah,
I love that movie because it is so the film is so cheap and so gritty, and so low budget that it makes it almost seem real. It adds an element of reality to me.
I know whenever those zombies rose up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
No, go on.
Oh no! When the zombies rose up to the grave, that was actually kind of scary too. I remember seeing it as a kid.
I saw that on late night television at the independent. There used to be an independent station.
Yeah.
In town, it was the late night Friday night movie. I watched it. I was like 11 years old. You're right. It was pretty twitchy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was my introduction to. I rented it on VHS when I was in. When the grocery stores used to rent movies. I was at a Giant Eagle, and I remember like Stephen King was talking about that movie and that movie Dance Macabre, right? That book he wrote.
Yeah.
I remember renting it, and then at the very beginning it says viewer discretion is advised, and they showed the trailer for Face of the Death, right? And then I kind of shocked me. I can't believe they're making a movie about that. Then a week later, I ended up renting it and liking the movie. No, the first one was that, and I was directed by the guy who ended up doing Porky's and Christmas Story. I was the old Bob Clark horror film.
Yeah, what was his name? Alan Ormsby or something like that, or Ormby, something along those.
Yeah, he started. Yeah, he was one of the guys. But I heard like I think George Romero and Tom Savini were talking about it, and I think he met the Bob Clark met Tom Savini. He said it was like a low budget version of Night of the Living Dead that sort of should play with dead things. I was just talking about with Spoof, I think.
Well, they used to re-release, and I remember because I was kind of a latchkey kid when I was 7 when my parents divorced, and that year when I was 7 years old, my grandparents gave me a Sears. It was an AM/FM weather radio and shortwave radio. So I listened to the radio a lot when I was doing my homework when I was a little kid because I was by myself. And anyway, I would go to bed because my mom was going to school at the time, and she wouldn't get home till 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I would listen to the radio or have it going when I was going to sleep. And they would always have the radio commercials for Night of the Living Dead going over and over and over again. Because they re-release it all the time for drive-in. It was always re-released for drive-in. It seemed like every fall when I was a kid. It was kind of the way 20th Century Fox did with Star Wars. They would release Star Wars every year until Empire Strikes Back, and it was just. I don't remember seeing it until I was probably, again, that independent television station that was in Birmingham. They showed it as one of their late night movies, and I watched it. I guess I said I watched it when I was like 11, and I guess what really blew me away about it was, first of all, there was no levity to it. There was no humor. It was strictly grim.
Yeah.
The dead are walking. They're coming back. Not only are they coming back, they are physically eating people.
Yes.
And that is an existential threat. That's not something. That's not just like I don't know, something like a werewolf or a vampire that's going to threaten. It's going to threaten the castle. Castle Wooby-Doo or whatever. No, this is an existential threat to the whole planet. That the recently dead are coming back and eating people. And what got me, the second thing that really got me was the thing that got. Did you ever read Roger Ebert's review of it?
No, I never have.
Do it. Read it.
Oh, read. Okay.
This man was serious about Night of the Living Dead and gave it. He gave it a really visceral review. He talked about his own impressions of it, and he watched a matinee of it with a bunch of kids, and he talks about what happened. It's really good, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened to me watching it when I was 11. There's no happy ending.
No,
there's no happy ending. There's no escape to this. You know, the Dwayne Jones character, he survives only to be shot in the damn head because nobody, because they think he's one of the dead.
Yeah.
And that was just, to me, that was just brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Even today, I mean, it stands as a benchmark. It's a benchmark that really nobody else has ever met, in my opinion. I think the closest that I would come to Night of the Living Dead. Well, no, 28 days later they escaped.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the 28 years later yet. I need to see it. I want to see it before it comes out of the theaters.
Oh.
But it's just this.
Anymore. It's hard telling. I mean, there's so much.
Movies,
in the summertime. Yeah.
Movies come and go so quickly. I mean, Nosferatu premiered here last winter, back in December. It premiered here, and it seemed like it was gone like in 3 weeks because we were going to make a point of going to go see it in the theater, and it was gone.
I haven't seen the movie in the theater. I've seen the movie.
You say that. I haven't either. Last movie I saw in the theater was Avengers Endgame, and that's been 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think the last one I saw in the theater was Green Knight. That was it. Boy, I was like, we had to read that English class, and I think it ended, it was like a real subtle ending, though. I don't think people really liked the movie that well, you know? Yeah, I mean, it's not like a traditional, like Excalibur or Hearts and Armor or something like that for like the swords, like King Arthur type, you know?
Well, it's I don't know. It's just when you look at the expenditure required for a movie, depending on where you live, a movie ticket can be $15 to $25.
Yeah.
And most people, if they go to a movie, they're probably either going to get snacks or they're going to go, have a meal before or afterward. So you're looking at, depending on what level of meal you're going to have, you're looking at $30, $40 for a meal for two. And it's just
a lot of money.
I genuinely feel for kids these days trying to date because it's bloody expensive. It's got to be bloody expensive.
Yeah.
Because, you get kids now. I mean, when we were younger, I remember one time I took out when I first moved out, I had 2 female roommates when I first moved out. I took up one of my roommate's friends, and we went to a 99-cent movie and split a Sprite, split a $1 Sprite, and then had Taco Bell, and then went back to my place for Boinky Boinky. And that was the cheapest date I've ever been in my life. $5.
Yeah, there you go.
$5, and I still scored. But it's like now you have there's this expectation to where on a first date you're supposed to go to, like, I don't know, freaking Cheesecake Factory or McCormick and Schmick Seafood or Fleming Steakhouse or something. You're supposed to go to these high-end restaurants, and I'm going, wait a minute, that's not first date material. First date material is you go to the park and you hang out, or you go to a movie and you hang out. You go have Mexican or Thai or something like that, and get to know each other. It's not going out on this great big event.
Yeah, I mean, I think Applebee's is perfect, right? I think Applebee's is the perfect place.
I don't think it's unacceptable. I don't. I mean, I took 7 years ago. I dated this chick I met off of OkCupid. I took her to Applebee's south of town. I mean, she said she liked coconut shrimp. So okay, they had coconut shrimp. That's where we're going.
Exactly.
But it's just I believe it's just the cost prohibitive nature of movies, the technology, especially when you're looking at movie theaters having to invest all that money in digital and all the digital projection equipment. It seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Exactly.
It really does, because it's I don't know. I know things change because I'm 55, and I caught the tail end of the independent theater era, and now all the theaters are chains. And I think one of the big chains filed bankruptcy a few weeks ago. I can't remember which one.
Mm.
It wasn't AMC. It was one of the other.
Oh, I mean, we have not we have we have Cinemark. That's our chain, right? I mean, the most I would pay for a movie like it was at the movie house, and we were invited there a couple of times. We paid like $8 for a movie, and that was like free games and free popcorn and stuff like that. I think you had to pay for drinks, but that's okay. But the popcorn's free. I mean, I did a bunch of reviews from there. He had like ketchup flavored popcorn cheese. I got to try that. Um, though the thing is now, I saw Jeremy John's. He did a sponsored review, and he said some place called Men's Store, and there's like 20 different rooms in there, and it's like individual like screening rooms, right? And it goes to like four seats, so 20 seats. You go with your friends and buddies, and they'll serve you like a meal that's based on the movie, and then you get to watch the movie. I think I was thinking with the 20 seats is like $1,000. It's outrageous.
Well, we had here in town and up in the south, we had the rave theaters for a while. And back about 20 years ago, rave took over, and they built these really beautiful high end theaters.
Yeah.
And I guess AMC bought them out because they all became AMC the past few years. And I don't know. I guess AMC is still hanging in there. And I know at home there was a theater in Birmingham that was kind of in the suburbs. It had been a local chain had it. A local chain opened it like 35 years ago, and it was a 8 or 10. It was an 8 or 10 plex. I can't remember which. And the crime got bad in the area in the late 90s, and by the early 2000s they'd shut it down. And then a couple of independent owners took it over, and I saw Skyfall there back in 2012. And they took it over, and the people that took it over, they wanted to do something higher end with it. So they had actual food and drink you could order in there. And by drinks, I mean like alcoholic drinks too. And it folded up. They finally shut down a year or two ago, if I remember correctly. And I guess it's just no matter what the venue, nobody really cares to go out to movies anymore, especially when you consider, you can go to Walmart and spend less than $1,000 and get a comprehensive home theater system that'll blast you out of your seat in your own house.
Yeah.
Because the technology's got so cheap, you can get a freaking TV that takes up half the wall for $500 now.
Wow.
Hey, give me 1 minute. I got to run in. Give me 1 minute. I got to run in and take a bathroom break. I had to stop for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. No problem. Yeah, like I said, back to the Cheerleaders Wild Weekend movie, right? These girls on this bus. The three girls, three high schools. They go to a cheerleader competition. They're going to take the chaperone there, and they're going to go down. And they show they're showing us running someone off the road by showing their breasts and stuff. It started off kind of like a comedy, but it had a weird tone to it, so it looked like it's serious too. It looked like a little bit of a horror movie type thing. While the way they showed the close-ups of like different photos and stuff, it's kind of serious. And then they got pulled off the side of the road, and the bus driver got knocked out, and his cop and stuff came back in. The cop was playing a guy who plays Flash Gordon, and they kidnapped these girls. They took this room, this cabin in the woods, right? They parked across along the side of the road, and They make him do like strip teases and and messing with them and stuff. There was some violence and it told not to be violent with the girls. And then the guys who I don't know what the one girl had in charge. Maybe she just loved the one guy, but that chaperone turned out to be one of the kidnappers. But the other three or four guys they had were football players. The squad of football players wanting money back, right? So they end up selling a kidnap ransom for $2 million. This radio DJ and him and these other cops. The cops are really stupid in this movie. They're really sleazy exploitation movie. If you like exploitation, you'll love this movie though. And you see them how they deliver the money and all this other stuff, and it's really good. It's a lot of fun. I really liked. I was going to do a day or two before, then I started dozing off for the last 20 minutes, but it's really good. And like I said, it starts off with this guy that used to make porno. That he made like this movie, Night Patrol, The Being, and Gross Out. Gross Out's a really gross movie though. You always wonder who would make something like that. Well, he's the one that made it. Well, I like the movie. I have to give the movie like a. I give the movie like a 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. It's a good exploitation. So if you like that stuff, I looked all over. I had a hell of a time finding it. And it's in like different forms, but usually it's cut out to like it cut like 6, 7 minutes of the movie. I want to see the whole thing uncut. And I finally got through it on Plex. So I hope you like the review of this movie. But I give it like 8 out of 10 for that movie. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. That's my good buddy, Duessolinvictus right here up on panel with me. I don't. He's been a fan of mine since. Well, we're both friends anyway. He's been a friend of mine since 2013. I'm glad he came up. Back whenever it's tough to get panel guests sometimes. Everyone's been so jaded towards me. That's okay. No, I like Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. It's really good. Like, the guy who started it was the guy who was in Flesh Gordon. It's definitely an exploitation film through and through. And it's kind of ironic that he brought up that movie The Being too, which is actually really good. Well, it had like a budget like 1 million, $1.5 million is a budget, right? Yeah. I tell him to saw it when he comes back. Not this one. Let's see. Let's find out what's going on. That Stacking Cold popped up. That was cool. As a fellow food reviewer, I was on his panel at one time. You know, I was on panel with Trav. I think he might have been on my panel with me a long time ago. But I think people don't want to do panels anymore. People don't want to go live as much unless it's like drama stuff. It is about as far for drama as you can get. You know, a fun live stream. Hmm. It's actually a good movie. That it's just weird though. But it goes by like 3 different titles. So I didn't put Bus 17 is missing. You know, like that movie, one of our dinosaurs is missing. Let's see if I can find anything good about it on IMDb. On not I on Wikipedia. Let's see. Let's see. Cheerleaders. Well, probably the most everyone's talking about this movie forever too. Let's see. On Wikipedia, Cheerleaders. Well, okay, Wikipedia. Okay, here we go. Let's see what they say about it here. Oh, it doesn't say that much. Cheerleader Wild Weekend is a 1939 cheerleader comedy film. It was also known as The Great American Girl Robbery. Oh, distributed by Dimension Pictures. That must have been a long time ago. Said Roger Ebert the writing the film as The Dog of the Week, an episode of Sneak Preview in 1979. There's not a lot of info on that one. I had to help with finding it. It's on YouTube, but it's in blocks and stuff. And it's not the whole movie's not on YouTube. But I watched on Plex. It's actually pretty good. It's a low budget. I'm sure you turn a profit on something like that. I wonder if people like were blind to the fact that those girls were kidnapped. You know, the Great American Girl Robbery such in Cheerleaders, and then they said the movie's considered to be to have a wild weekend. You know, the end. I don't want to give away the ending. Completely shocked me though of that movie. I don't know. Yeah, it did surprise me how it ended. But it was a good show. I liked it. You back, buddy? I find see if anyone else is live. Let's see what we got. What's this? Oh, okay. Let's see. Hey there. Oh, hello. Maybe not. Oh shit! Yeah, I hit the wrong. Oh, I don't know. Hmm, I don't know about that. You okay? Oh, let's see. Oh, cool. Let's see. Subscriptions. Oh, we got Black Eagle up there. Boo. Black Eagle sucks.
You there? Can you hear me? Hey, I'm back. You there?
You there? Oh, she dropped off. He dropped off. Oh my God, she's so toxic about. Yeah. Oh, really? She was- Oh shit. I don't know. People. She's not racist. Just like use a bit. I get along with people. Mm. What? She loves talking about me. So. I have no pro- I have no problem with that. I can't care about that. They're going back to me again. At least that's the spoof. Okay. Oh, I'm ready for this. Black Eagle's a bitch. I'm leaving that. Anyways, and the hate trade continues. Let's go back. I think Duessolinvictus cut out. I don't know if he's coming back. So I get distracted. Let's go. Let's do a whole thing of the Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. I ended. All right, Cheerleaders Wild Weekend, like I said, start off showing photos of these girls from each high school. I mean, it's a unique idea. It's a unique idea for a movie and for an exploitation film with lots of TNA in it. And TNA was pretty much quick in the movie. A lot of nudity, some violence, but not too bad. There's some blood, a little bloodshed in it too. And it starts off with this guy saying, "Okay, we got to have this cheerleader competition in Sacramento, California. There's 3 high schools involved. At least, I mean, it's probably like a national competition, and they're all going. There's like 5, 6 girls for each high school. They're all going this one bus. The chaperone there, bus driver. The bus driver is like a real pervert, though, on this thing. And they're going to go to Sacramento for the competition. And they go overnight. It's like an overnight ride. Also, like at first, they would like it's just a kind of them fighting and stuff and flirting with guys they see driving by. And then there's this one hillbilly guy in his pickup truck, and they're trying to see who wants to run them off the road, right? And they're flirting with them, giving blowing kids short of legs. And all I said, "You guys are amateurs." Then she started showing her boobs real bad, and her butt, and then all of a sudden, like, "Oh man, oh man, oh man!" And he runs off the road. He runs into this orange crate, orange stand right there, And they said I was done without permits. I think it was a lot of guerrilla filmmaking. This wherever like you run out, film something, and then you're done with no permits, no nothing. And that's happened before in lots of movies. You know, I think that movie Bad Lieutenant was like guerrilla filmmaking where they were filming not pay like fees or anything like that because usually like a fee to film in New York and stuff, or you get fined a whole bunch of stuff. And it goes to nighttime, and all of a sudden you see them at this detour, this big detour. There's a cop there, a black guy in this a bus driver uniform, like brown uniform, and a couple guys there with guns, right? And then the bus opens the door to a couple and says, "Hey, we need you to step out of the bus real quick." And he said, "Okay." And he said, like, something happened, like, or your company wanted you to switch bus drivers. And they brought him off when no one could see him. And he knocked the guy out. And then this other bus driver came up, and a cop came in and said, like, "Hey, sorry about any inconvenience. We had to switch drivers for some misunderstanding or something like that. And did your new bus driver, then we'll be in Sacramento before you know it." And that was the guy who played Flesh Gordon. And this by the guy who helped produce Flesh Gordon, uh, The Being, Night Patrol, stuff like Gross Out, stuff like that. And they're driving. They said everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry about nothing. And then they drive off to this cabin in the woods. And come up on there. The girls are freaking out and said, and then this black guy brings out this attack dog, and he says, "You girls do what you're told. You come off the bus, or my dog's gonna get you," or something like that. They all go off the bus, and they're all confused, and they find out that the chaperone was in on the deal. And then through flashback, we find that the guys involved are ex-football players. I don't know what tie the girl that the chaperone is. I don't know what tie she is in. I don't know if I have no idea what her relationship with any of those guys is. That's one thing I wanted to explain in the movie. Um, and they kidnap these girls, and then there's like this radio disc jockey say, "Hey, we got a ransom note. You hear about those girls that kidnapped me?" And said, "Yeah, that's a bad thing." Well, they want $2 million in bills, and they wanted you to help them. These cops. And so he's on the phone with these guys, and they're trying to trace the call. They're not able to. And along with the time, the girls are being like asked to do like striptease and stuff. It's really sleazy. And one girl gives the girl a bath. I mean, when I say girl, I mean like in their 20s and 30s. And they're these cheerleaders, 20s and 30s, not young girls. Because I mean, they're not like teeny boppers. They're like all of them are like in their 20s and 30s. That's pretty obvious. Um, and it's pretty sleazy and stuff. And like some girls flirt with the guys, some girls try to get away, and they're always stopped or trapped. It's really interesting. It's never boring. It's a very bizarre, a hodgepodge of different themes in the movie. Um, and then it comes a turn to for them to get the money for them to deliver the ransom money for the last 20 minutes. And the way they did is kind of tense, but kind of cheesy too. And then they show how dumb the cops are towards the end. And I don't want to I don't reveal anything after that point. But they said they're supposed to transfer the money to this hotel, and a hotel. They show think of this hotel. A hotel obviously has 5 floors, right? But in this movie, they reference the 8th floor, which is kind of bizarre. Um, yeah, the movie's quite good. Like I said, the two cops are real dumb. The taller cop is really stupid. Like I was telling Duessolinvictus, I said like the one cop was saying like, "Man, look for these guys like look for a needle in a haystack," and the one guy was saying like, "Yeah, I never understood that term, needle in a haystack. I mean, why search for it? Why don't you just buy a new one? It can't cost that much." And the cop said, "Yeah, mind me to tell you, uh, mind me not ever to ask you that again, or something like that." But I mean, the movie has weird humor in it. It has serious parts. It has violent parts, exploitation parts in it. Lots of nudity, though. The perfect example of exploitation film back then. For 1979, I highly recommend it. Give it 8 out of 10. And some people originally did like stuff like the Alice in Wonderland X-rated thing, and also like the Flesh Gordon movie that was X-rated. But I remember seeing Flesh Gordon in the R-rated version, right? I remember there was a big book I had about movies. They talk about Flesh Gordon, right? And it really is supposed to be like a sci-fi porno parody of Flesh Gordon. And then they started getting more elaborate in their special effects and the animation and stuff like that with monsters and stuff. I think they ended up spending like $500,000 for effects and stuff and claymation and stuff. So they decided to release it in both the X-rated version and a theatrical R-rated version. That's the version I saw. I think it's like 73 minutes. That's what I saw. I read it from Media Home Entertainment in Germany and watching it a couple of times. It's still pretty funny. And then they did a sequel called Flesh Gordon and the Cosmic Cheerleaders, which was really funny. That's like NC-17, but that wasn't a porno though. You know, they really pushed the bounds of humor in that one because it was pretty dirty for the movie that came out. You know, wasn't a porno. I remember like um thinking about maybe renting the porno version of it. I had a chance to rent that in Fort Detrick, Maryland. Then said, "Nah, I don't feel like I didn't bother to rent it." Because I think it was like it's like a full 90 minutes or something like that, and then I think it cut like 17 minutes of the movie, and you can do a lot in 17 minutes, believe me. Let me look up Flesh Gordon and see if they have both versions on here on IMDb. I can't believe they changed the name of Endless Descent to the Rift. That doesn't even make any sense. Endless Descent's far better title, in my opinion. Let's see, Flesh Gordon. Yeah, 1974. Yeah, I mean, Flesh Gordon meets the Cosmic Cheerleader. Yeah, 4.8 hour and 18 minutes. Candy samples with it. I remember that. Let's see. Up and coming special. Okay. Oh, Rick Baker worked on that? Oh, I didn't know Rick Baker worked on that. Yeah, it said a number of up and coming special effects artists worked on the film, including Rick Baker, Jim Danforth, David Allen, and Dennis Muren. The effects ended up being so good that the film was actually in line for an Oscar nomination for visual effects. However, the Academy chose not to give it an award in the Academy this year because so few films have featured such effects. Wow. Oh, $700,000 estimated. Wow, that's weird. Huh. But I mean, it was a porno version too. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if they have it here. Oh, here he comes. Hi, buddy. Let's see. He's muted right now. Ooh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, okay, there we go. I just had to run in Dollar General, and it's been a crazy trip. I had a lot of puppies going up with me, so I had a lot of crates to clean. I went through 9 rolls of paper towels and a whole roll of trash bags, cleaning up crates on the way out.
Wow. Did you know that what was it that oh, they said Flash Gordon, they said that they was going to get nominated for Academy Award for special effects. But it didn't do it though. They said it won too many movies with visual effects in them back in the time. They said it was going to get nominated. That's weird.
It's bizarre. The whole Hollywood system is so corrupt. It always has been.
Yeah.
You know, it's I mean, look at what they did to Orson Welles and Peter Bogdanovich and so many of these other incredible directors. Because I mean, you know, Peter Bogdanovich, they kind of shoved him to the wayside. I mean, I think he died a few years ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he did.
But he was an amazing vision, and he was such an incredible film historian, and they just kind of bumped him to the side. You know, he came out in the 70s and blew it out of the gates. But then I guess, I don't know, personalities, jealousy, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's weird. I remember when you talking about VCR prices. Remember VHS tape prices?
Yeah.
I think the last time, because I never bought that. We didn't buy them any VCR tapes. We bought blank tapes. I remember buying Day of the Triffids, and then they had like tapes for like 2 for $10, right? I remember buying like the Chinese Connection and Godzilla versus Megalodon. I had to take one back because it was all messed up. We kept the Chinese Connection, right? I remember my dad, we saw E.T. at the theater. My dad wanted to buy it on VHS. I remember we went to Sears. They wanted $300 for that thing.
Oh, yeah. Movies.
That was outrageous.
Movies used to be super expensive. I mean, at the video store wholesale, we pay, and this is like 1989, 90, 91. We paid anywhere from the cheapest was 59, 69 bucks all the way up to 129 bucks per tape.
Wow. See, we never paid. I mean, in Germany, when I went to the army, in Germany, they have videos that are buy to own and stuff like that. They were like they had like like Parade Home Video or Good Times, Video Treasures and stuff. Where you have popular movies like The Evil That Men Do or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you get for around $8 or $9 or even less. That's what I used to do while I was in the army. A bunch of movies, you know. And usually for like main movies, the main price was like $15.99 or $16.99 for movies, you know. I used to end up buying a whole bunch of movies, but I mean, I bought some in Fort Gordon, Georgia, but not that many. But usually I buy a whole bunch in Germany.
Fort Gordon's not a very big post.
No,
it's not that big of a post. Well, let's see. Fort Gordon is Signals, right?
Yeah, Signal Company. That's the IT Structural. But I mean, and they had a couple movie theaters there, though. You know, I think they had 2 movie theaters there. It was great.
Well, McClellan was like that. Even McClellan was mostly a range.
Yeah,
and that was where NBC was. And McClellan, they had a 2-plex, and they had a Burger King. Which in the 80s, every daggum post had a Burger King back then. That was the go-to.
We had Burger Kings in Fort Bragg and Fort Gordon and and in the one in Germany, it was like real close to where my barracks were. It was wonderful, and not too far up. Yeah. So
I'm trying to think of what else was at McClellan, because there was Burger King, and there was one other place. It may have been like an independent contractor who ran it or something.
Yeah.
It was like a cafeteria style place, if I remember correctly. Which, I mean, if you want cafeteria style, you just go to the chow hall and not even worry about it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I've don't get me wrong, chow hall results varied in everybody's Army career, but I never had much that I would consider to be truly awful.
No, me either.
I know I got KP when I was in basic, and
yeah, me too. 7 times.
I only had it
7
once.
times.
I had KP once, and I went back there, and they were prepping for the evening meal, and it was Swiss steak or Spanish. They called it Spanish steak because everybody they were all Central American or Mexican immigrants. And anyway, they took these beautiful cuts of ribeye. I mean, this was some gorgeous meat, gorgeous meat. They threw them in a pan and threw flour and water and a bunch of chopped onions and peppers and some it was like chili powder or something all over it, and just threw it in the oven and let it go. And that was it.
That looks good. That sounds good.
Oh, it was awful. It ruined it. They ruined the meat.
Oh, they ruined it? Oh, wow.
They took this beautiful. Well, they cooked it well done. I mean, you take a beautiful ribeye and you cook it well done. You may as well go to McDonald's and get a kids burger or something because you cooked all the taste out of it. But it was, I had KP that one time, and for the evening meal they had that, and they had those they call them chuck wagon steaks. They were these little beef and veal fritter things, beef and veal patties that were breaded, and they deep fry them. And they put them out with cream gravy. Well, anyway, they took a whole pile. They took 2 boxes of them and cooked them at the end of the night. They were going to throw them away. So I said, "Oh no!" I said, "I'll take them on out to the dumpster." And the guy said, "Oh yeah, that's okay. Go ahead." Well, anyway, I took the box that they came in. I took them out to the dumpster, poured all of them in a plastic bag, and then put them back in the box behind the dumpster. And then I went back in and grabbed 2 big loaves of white bread. I snuck them into the barracks when I came off of KP, and we all had sandwiches.
Holy shit! You were allowed to get? Oh man, we would have gotten caught. That's awesome.
I used to sell cigarettes when I was in basic. I used to smuggle cigarettes and sell them.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to have cigarettes or anything like that.
They weren't allowed either, but the guys who were smokers were willing to pay $10 a pack.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. We'd get in trouble. I never did any of that stuff like that. I didn't want to get in trouble.
I made good money at it. I mean, I made some pretty damn good cash under the table. I got my regular pay plus $300-400 from smuggling cigarettes to everybody because people were well, you see, the biggest thing in this world, if you act like you are where you're supposed to be, most of the time people aren't going to stop and ask you any questions. And if you do, if you have a good story to go with it, they're going to let you go.
Yeah.
That's like in regular duty. I found out when I was doing the medical portion of my training, if I grabbed a clipboard and walked around like I was looking for somebody, nobody would make eye contact with me because they were afraid I was looking for somebody for shots or something or for a piss test or something. Nobody would make eye contact with me.
Really?
Because I'd have a clipboard and some paper and I'd walk around like I was looking for somebody. Nobody wants to see that. Not in the Army. You don't want somebody with a clipboard and paper coming and looking for you because it's never good.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fort McClellan's in ruins now. You know, they shut it down years ago. So everything on base, barracks, and the Burger King and all of it is just ruins. They kept the Anniston Army Depot is still open up there. They rebuild rifles for the civilian marksmanship program, which I need to go get myself an M1 Garand and a 1911 while I can. They're actually going to start producing new M1 Garands up there.
Wow.
They got a bunch of receivers in, and they're going to start building them out of parts kits. Which I wouldn't mind having one of those. I wouldn't mind having an M1 Garand. I've got an M14. I wouldn't mind having a Garand to go with it too.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy though. I mean, we never did anything like that. We had a. Did you ever be? Were you ever at Fort Bragg?
No, I've never bragged.
No. I mean, you were in the army, right?
Yeah,
Did you? Did you have a place called Frank's?
no,
A hot dog place they had there.
no,
You did or didn't?
did not. We had at Fort Jackson, we had Burger King and the enlisted club PX, and that was it.
Okay. Well, we had Fort. I was at base train at Fort Jackson. I mean, we didn't go to any of those places though. But oh no, we did eat at Burger King once. When we graduated, we were allowed to do what we wanted for a little bit, and I had guard duty. That bitch, so I barely put me on guard duty, right? So we go to eat
Yeah.
Burger King, see a movie, and we saw a movie before. But we did eat at Burger King. No, that was awesome. I love Burger
Well, I
King.
mean, when it comes to burgers, that's my favorite place to go for a fast food
Oh, yeah.
burger. Number
I
two
love
would be
the breakfast
Wendy's.
too. I love
You're
their
what?
breakfast too. Their
I
breakfast
don't.
is good.
My girlfriend, she likes those croissant
Yeah,
breakfasts. I just don't
yeah.
care for them. I just
Oh,
don't
I
care
love
for
that.
them that much. It's not my thing.
Yeah,
And honestly, okay, when I sent you that picture from McDonald's the other night, that was the
yeah,
best dadgum McDonald's I've had in a long time. I had to drop off dogs for another rescue up in Hamburg, Pennsylvania,
yeah, yeah.
and I wanted to somewhere where I could park the van, where I could watch it, leave it running, sit down and eat for just 15, 20 minutes and not be in the van. Well, the dining room was closed at Burger King, it was closed at Wendy's, and it was closed at Taco Bell.
Mm,
McDonald's won because they were the only one that had an open dining room.
yeah.
And I hadn't really eaten anything since like 5 o'clock in the morning, so I went ahead and got the double quarter pounder and had them add lettuce and tomato to it, and it was
Yeah.
really, 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 really good. It was really good. I can't say enough good about how. I mean, that was like honestly, that was like a burger you would get at like Applebee's or Ruby Tuesday or something.
Yeah, that looked really good. I got the photo of it. I looked it up. I have the photo. If you want to, if I can show it, I show it here
But
for.
honestly,
Yeah,
even the fries were really good. And lately, I don't even eat McDonald's fries, or I just have them give me a larger drink, if they will, or something, because
yeah.
the fries are they're always undercooked lately. They're always soggy, but they were really good. That was a really great McDonald's location.
Yeah, it looked fantastic. It looked really good. I love stuff like that. I love fast food. I mean, they talk about McDonald's. I think McDonald's has some of the most iconic items in fast food. They have the Egg McMuffin, the Big Mac, Chicken McNuggets, the filet of fish, and McRib. Those are all like iconic, you know?
Yeah, but they're diminishing, because the millennials and Gen Z, they don't eat at McDonald's. McDonald's, they had a this past quarter, they had a downturn of like 5% in same store sales. So, and I remember a survey like 8 or 9 years ago of millennials, and like 75% of them had never had a Big Mac before. So it's they're everywhere, but they're still kind of diminishing too. You there? Oh, come on, StreamYard. StreamYard.
So I got kicked off, bastards. Something happened, it just like froze up. I was trying to.
My StreamYard was acting weird on me. I had to reboot my phone when I tried to get back on a while ago. StreamYard
Okay.
is it's really finicky. I don't know what it is with it, but it's just really finicky.
Yeah, I never had like. I remember one time they had like gore karaoke, right? So I said, "What the hell?" I was singing a song, a gore karaoke song. I did that. I thought it was really good, and then I went back over and I found StreamYard kicked me off. I was like, "Well, thanks." Sorry about that again.
Yeah, StreamYard is really finicky. I don't know what it is. If I get on StreamYard on my phone, I have to clear out all the cache on my apps. I have to clear out all the cache memory, and
Yeah,
it just acts quirky.
it's been really bad, horrible.
And I know another channel I follow, Gruntspeak.
Yeah,
Um, Gruntspeak, they do StreamYard. And I know I tried to do a donation for them one time, and it took forever to go through on StreamYard. But they do Rumble too, and it's a lot easier on Rumble. But a lot of the gun tubers have gone to Rumble because YouTube is so weird about guns and shooting videos now. They won't really deplatform you, but what they'll do is they'll demonetize you at the drop of a dime.
yeah,
And some of these guys, like one guy I follow, he did a 2,000 round burn down on this budget 1911 made in Turkey. And he said he has to be careful with what he does because of course he relies on what little money he gets out of YouTube to buy the ammunition for the tests. And he said it just pisses him off. You have all these followers. He's got like 30,000 followers, and you have all these followers, all this engagement, and the YouTube just burns you because they don't like what you did on a certain video. But it's odd and it seems kind of arbitrary what they will and won't burn you for. You there?
I'm here. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, have you tried that Arby's Philly cheesesteak yet?
No, I haven't been to Arby's. I haven't been to any place for a while. My knee's so messed up now. I wait for that to subside. I haven't been anywhere in a while.
What's up with the knee, man?
Oh, just arthritis is really horrible. It's really horrible. I asked for some more prednisone for the VA. They're dragging their feet on that, I got a little bit.
Prednisone is kind of bad for you. Prednisone or any steroid is really bad for you.
Yeah.
I know back when I was working out all the time 10 years ago, I got some gray market steroids. Yeah. I used them for about a month, and I didn't like the side effects, and I said, all right, heck with it. That was it. I was done.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're really good for an anti-inflammatory post-operation and such. Because like when our dogs get orthopedic surgery, they'll always send they'll do an injectable or they'll do a oral prednisone, but they don't keep them on it for over maybe 4 days or so because it's just the negative side effects are there too.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I just want to say I really appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you too, man. I'm sorry I haven't been on in so long because I haven't engaged in so long, but I can't do a lot. Like when I'm at home, I can't do the late night thing, and really the only time I can do the late night thing, if you had a late night stream, was if I were driving home because I have a little more latitude there. But like I'm on such a tight schedule going up that I have to really mind my time because even like even like a 15-20 minute stop sometimes can add 30-45 minutes on the back end of the trip, depending on traffic.
Yeah, I appreciate you still being there because because there's a hate people going on about me right now with that Black Eagle bitch saying more shit about me. That's the only thing she has to talk.
What else does she have to say? I mean, you haven't had anything to do with her in a couple of months now. I mean, there's no
I know
point.
she's still saying something about me. When I was Scott Black, saying nasty stuff about me. She's just a horrible bitch, man.
Well, I guess I just don't understand her motivation because you guys haven't anything to do with each other in ages.
I know. But she makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, that's the only thing she has to talk about. I mean, she wants to fit in, and she's saying shit about me. Saying it right now on I Found Dories, you know? Talking about my sister and all this other stuff. My sister trying to make her way in the community. My sister doesn't care about those people over there, you know?
Well, if they're all going to turn on you at the drop of a dime, how can you care about them? There's no point.
I know. Exactly. I agree. I mean, she was saying about she's blaming Tanya. It didn't have anything to do with Tanya. She went over to Jeffersonville's and started saying stuff about me. I got a phone call saying that, hey, that Black Eagle's not your friend. I said, wait, what's going on? I was woken up. I went over there. I started talking stuff about me over there. Oh, okay. I blocked her after that, that's just the end of it. She's a horrible person.
Well, it's about all you can do is block them because what else is the
Yeah,
point? I mean,
I know.
there's just well, it was kind of like the way it's kind of the way they did honestly with Miller too.
Yeah,
Miller tried his damnedest not to start anything with anybody, and
exactly.
they still just went after him.
Yep.
And I mean, why? I don't know. It's like a vicious little circle of hens who all want to peck somebody over there.
Exactly. I
And
agree.
and I just don't see the point in it because life's too short.
I know, but I mean, that's all they're hate bonding. I didn't think I thought Dory would be participating in something like that much, you know. And they probably won't be coming up with tail. That ain't gonna happen. It's all a trap.
Well, I mean, it's just I used to like to listen to Richards. I've never gone on it or anything. I used to like to listen to
Yeah,
Richards because he was really funny in the past. And now it's just like a cackle session.
that's all it
It's
is.
just
Yep.
a bunch of bitchy middle aged. It's like a bunch of bitchy middle aged 50-year-old schoolgirls going
Yeah.
off on one person or another. And okay, it's if you want that, watch The View.
Yeah.
The View comes on 5 days a week. Watch The View if that's what you want to see.
I know. Exactly. Well, I mean, like I said, they're interchangeable now. Because there used to be like a side between Jeff and Phil, and then like Richard and them, right? Now it's like they're
Yeah,
all joined and they're all the same. It's interchangeable. Just a different, slightly different personality. Each one of them, they don't have much personality at all. It's all the same bullshit.
yeah.
They don't have nothing to offer anymore except boredom and hatred.
Well, it just seems like it's just the same crap over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just like for a while there earlier this year, it was just okay. They're going to pile up on Jason, or they're going to pile up on Miller
Yep.
about something, or they're going to, and it's like, well, okay, what has Miller even done? All Miller does is reviews of, he reviews his
Star Wars and
collections
stuff.
and
Yeah.
music and Star Wars, and that's it. How
Yeah.
did what the hell did he do to piss in your post hostings? And it's like you do your food, you do your
Yeah.
food and movie. That's it.
I
And
know.
what of it?
I know.
Oh, I tell you a food reviewer. I tell you a food reviewer I picked up that I like too. The Endorsement. I've never heard of him before until you mentioned him. He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I like him.
I know
He's
that.
done
Yeah, I know.
he's done some
What's that?
Alabama
Sorry.
stuff too.
I'm sorry.
He did an Alabama barbecue restaurant a few weeks ago, and I was really impressed that he did because it was
Yeah.
Bob Evan. It was Big Bob Gibson's barbecue up in Decatur, which they've been there
Yeah.
100 years, and it's called an Alabama white sauce. It's a mayonnaise based barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend, absolutely, she's crazy about it. I don't like it at all because I'm not a big mayonnaise fan, but she's pretty crazy about it. But yeah, he reviewed it and talked about the sandwiches and the history of it and all that. But other than you, pretty well, I watch the endorsement. I'll watch Review Bra because I like Review Bra. He's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And Joe is hungry, and I like to listen. I don't really watch. I like Wolf Pit too. I listen to Wolf Pit.
Oh yeah, I like Wolf
because he just did the Dollar Tree Chinese food a couple of days ago, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I watched that. I'm sending you that live so you see what she's talking about me about.
Okay, yeah, just send it to me by Facebook message. I'll look at it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because like JKM just fell off the wayside.
Yeah.
I forgot I was subscribed to him, and I haven't watched him in like ever since that bullshit came up with you and him trying to stir up the crap to you.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's been gone for like 3 months. He hasn't done a video in like 3 months.
Yeah. I think he got he did. Well, I mean, him and I. Well, he's just not a good person. We used to talk every week, and then he just would just laugh like, you know, I say I would probably just make a joke and laugh about it. I mean, laugh about like the worst things ever, you know. And
well, I remember a few years ago that time when he came up to Erie, and you guys went to that hot dog place, and it kind of fell apart. Yeah. Everything kind of went off the rails there, and you know, that's neither here nor there. That can happen anywhere. Yeah. But you know, he just it's honestly, when I see the endorsement now, it's almost like JKM tried to copy the endorsement.
Oh yeah, he did.
Because he tried.
He did.
Yeah, he tried to do the same type of even format and everything.
Yeah. Because he just says like, when I do a video, I just copy you what you do, and he starts laughing. I mean, but what he did was like, he kept wanting to do. You should do things this way, this way, this way. Have all these different camera angles and stuff. He built like these overhead rigs to show like different camera angles and stuff, and he wanted to get any more views or anything. So I think he just gave up or something. You know, he used to have like these. He would like show, yeah.
Well, I enjoyed watching his wife's cooking videos. Those were pretty neat.
Oh yeah, but she's nice. Yeah.
But she made these. This cooking video. This Italian. It was like Easter pie or something. It was kind of like a meat pie thing, and it was really interesting to watch. I would cook that. I would try to cook that if I were better at baking, but I can't bake a crust to save my life. But I don't know. He just came across as, I don't know, kind of snarky and
he's fake.
Almost entitled.
Yeah.
You know, he just yeah.
He was very fake. I mean, yeah. Well, the thing is, when he came down, I mean, we had a nice time, and then the shot where like, I did a thing of them leaving. He had a spot, and then he changed it real quick. So I don't know what happened. Well, we filmed like a couple videos. One at one for the chicken, and then one for the that ice cream place, and then 3 other ones. And it took him forever. It took like a couple months for the edit to be finally, and then it took another month for that. It took like about a year or so. Other stuff. I don't know why I said like Freddie Foodie King. He went down to Florida to meet him, right? He filmed a bunch of stuff there, and he said, "Hey, when are you going to send me the video so I post it?" Oh, I'll wait. It said like a year or two. I don't think he ever sent him the footage that he filmed. I don't know why he's trying. I mean, it was weird. I mean, then it took forever to edit. He edited the whole thing. Sent me the whole thing from like I think we both did the Surefire stuff, right? He sent me that.
Yeah.
But then the ice cream stuff took forever, and so did the other stuff. It's just bad. I mean, some people just aren't nice, though. And I'm saying I'm like a horrible person. They sound like the meanest person on YouTube, which is a damn lie. You know, watch it. What Black Eagle is saying about me. Say I'm racist and all this stuff. No, I'm not.
Well, I don't know. It just seems I just don't understand why some people just want something to bitch about. It's
I
just
know. Well, she hangs out with Richard all the time, and he says the N word freely. She's like, oh, I think it's funny. And then she says I'm like the bad person. It's really weird how she is. I sent you a
the
link. You
whole
see
thing
how
with her.
hateful she is trying to be.
I will. I'll look at it. I'll look at it a little later. But it just seems to
Yeah.
me that she just I don't know, just because you guys were pretty tight this time last year. You guys were pretty tight. She seemed pretty solid,
Yeah, I
and it
respect
just seemed
her.
like
Yeah,
she just kind of weirded out. It seemed like she just kind of weirded out all of a sudden. I don't
I
know.
know. I know. I was worried about her by a certain someone, and then she said she's going to turn against you. She finally did, and that was it. I mean, 'cause the other person back, their friends are not friends, and their friends again. They make up. But I mean, I won't do that with Black people. He's done. And then they say I harass women, and they're like, someone just put out. That's fine. We can cover up Jeff free for like Scott Black is just as bad, and not worse. You know, I'm surprised she's doing a hate stream about me. That's another
Well,
shit I won't get back to.
I just don't see the point in it this late in the game. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys haven't been friends in a while. That's
yeah.
fine, whatever. But it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, every time she
Let it
comes up,
go.
that's all he
You
does is
know?
talk about me. All he does is talk about me every time she
Hey,
goes up.
Ron, I got a call, man. I'll talk to you
Okay.
later on.
You gonna take it
Bye.
off? Okay, I will. Okay.
Yeah, I got to drop off. Yeah, I got to take off.
Okay, you gonna take off? Okay. All right, I'll be
Yeah.
end the stream then. Okay. Thanks for coming up.
All right.
Okay. All right. Oh man. So that's my buddy Duessolinvictus. A very extensive review of the Cheerleaders Wild Weekend. I probably put more thought into the video than anyone else has. And we talk about food, talk about other movies. I think related to Cheerleaders Wild Week, we talk Siskel and Ebert, everything. We talk about the army and stuff. Talk about some online bullying that's been happening toward me. Um, oh, Victor's a good guy. I've known him since 2019. I mean, I'll stay until he drops off. You know. I hope you guys like the. I think this has been a really good live stream so far. I really do. Let me see something. I never said that. Oh, he dropped off. Okay. Um, now I'm going to end the live stream now. So I guess that's it, everybody. Hope you like this live stream. I guess that's it, everybody. I want to thank my friend Duessolinvictus. I mean, we had a good live stream talking about movies and stuff. Some of that bullying stuff derailed stuff a little bit, but we came back. We kicked butt. You know, we check. I want to do like you asshole. All right. So I'm getting too distracted right now. Well, I hope you like this video, buddy. So next up, please take care. Believe it. I'm gonna go for 2:32:22. Guys. Anyways, how about I go 2:36:36? No. 2:37:37. I'm getting distracted with this other bullshit. But I hope you like this live stream. I think it's a really good live stream we had. Lots of movie information. I mean, there's some dead spots in it, but it's alive. What do you expect? You talked to Duessolinvictus. I know. I felt like going live this morning. I'm glad I did. I don't know. I might do some. I don't know what I want to do tonight, but I'm definitely happy with the way things are. So I guess that's that. So what was that one video? Oh, yeah. So I hope you liked the video. Bye. Till next time, please take care, Legion. All right, here we go. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night.